Hi, I'm Brent Stafford, and this is RegWatch by RegulatorWatch.com. Youth vaping has reached epidemic proportions. This is now the official position of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the most powerful public health agency in the world. Buckling under relentless pressure directed by anti-vaping public health groups, FDA announced a new enforcement action targeting the top 5 companies in vaping. Joining us today is Schell Hammel, a longtime national vaping advocate and retail vape store owner in Texas. Thanks again for coming on RegWatch.
Thank you for having me.
First off, Schell, FDA says teen vaping has reached epidemic proportions and is a clear and present danger to youth. What do you think?
I think it's the age-old problem of new products and teen issues all around. And I absolutely think that we need an answer for it. I think it has become a problem.
Is epidemic, though, a fair word to use?
I do believe that epidemic is a strong word. I'm a little torn on the epidemic language. I do see an increase. I think everyone sees an increase, especially with the pod style type vaping devices. I've definitely seen that. I think everybody has. We've seen it within our schools. We've seen it within our neighborhoods. So I think it's definitely something we absolutely have to do something about it. I'm not sure that taking flavors out is going to be the answer. I think the novelty of it, regardless of flavors altogether, is the issue. So, I mean, it's with teens all the time. It's an age-old problem. This is not something new. I think that we have to have a conversation with all of our retail shop owners. We have to have conversations. I mean, this has to be an open dialogue. It has to be something where we take ownership of it from all sides.
How do you mean by that, by all sides?
I think that that parents need to engage their teens and any youth in conversations regarding vaping products, regarding nicotine, regarding addictive things altogether. And I think that needs to start there. We need to speak to the convenience stores and making sure that we are being very proactive in addressing these issues and making sure that we are identifying minors and you know, even of course we're going to have the ones that fall under the radar, the ones that have the fake IDs and things of that nature, things that we had when we were kids. And we're going to have that, and we know that. But even unintentionally, we need to do our best to try to make sure that we have policies and procedures and processes in place to help keep this at bay.
Commissioner Gottlieb, in his statement, said that FDA will not tolerate another generation of young people getting addicted to nicotine just so adult smokers can have unfettered access to these products.
Sure. And I did read that. And so it almost reads as if, you know, we're going to sacrifice this one for this one. And I know that I've actually heard that terminology used. So I think there's a happy medium. I don't think that we need to sacrifice both. I think that there's a happy medium, and I think that there is some education that can happen. SFATA and AMSA are coming together right now. I'll go ahead and let you know that SFATA and AMSA are coming together, and they're doing a youth prevention program. I've been working on it. We've been working on it for some time now, and it is called YEP. It is coming soon. And that's with, of course, our industry. So it can't speak for your closed pod systems or those, but we saw the necessity for this type of program within our youth, just because it definitely is an issue that we all need to address, and we need to address it in a proactive manner rather than a reactive manner.
How would such a campaign activate itself?
So at this level, where we're at, we have developed a website. It has tons of education for parents to identify these products and know if their youth are experimenting with these products, because some of these individuals don't even know what they look like. They don't know what they look like. They don't know what their components would look like. So, these teens and minors are sneaky, and they're good, kind of like we were. And so you may only see a battery laying around, or you may only see a charger laying around. And so we show those devices and show what they need to be looking for, and tell them how to open a dialogue, and ask them, or give them suggestions, I guess, to open a dialogue. Other things that we have in there are education for the youth, and the different scientific studies that are out there on nicotine, on the developing brain, and nicotine dependency, and how you really don't want to start that process at such a young age. And so we address that within that website. So we're going to be working on that. We're also working on a We Care program, which is out of that website for retail shops, and it addresses retail shops as well, and how to identify minors, what different policies and procedures they can put in place so that that unintentional sale cannot happen, or at least it has less of the potential to happen. So that's going to come out very soon, and the We Care program will be something that retail shop owners can join, I believe, and that's coming soon as well. So not long from now.
The FDA and all public health have really hung their hat on this issue that nicotine harms developing brains. But have you seen science that really proves that?
I've seen science in rats. I mean, and I'm not a scientist, nor am I a doctor, but I have heard continuously that nicotine is not a carcinogen. In its purest form, it's not a carcinogen. And also know that from the studies and research that nicotine has the same effects on the body as caffeine. That's not my science, that's someone else's science. But I believe it. We absolutely need more testing done. And I think that's the position of the majority of politicians or government officials. And I'm not faulting anyone, but it's a knee-jerk reaction majority of the time.
Fair enough. However, clearly FDA and public health nonprofit groups that want to see vaping destroyed are taking a completely different position. Their position is nicotine harms developing brains, and they put out public service announcements like this spot right here.
There's an epidemic spreading. Scientists say it can change your brain. It can release dangerous chemicals like formaldehyde into your bloodstream. It can expose your lungs to acrolein, which can cause irreversible damage. It's not a parasite, not a virus, not an infection. It's vaping.
So, that is a very powerful piece. Is it fair? And what do you think about nicotine? Because they certainly are going after it.
They absolutely are. I think that I don't find it accurate. That's what I don't find. I don't find it accurate, not based on the science that I've seen, the medical data I've seen. I mean, all of the science that's not on rats. I don't see that.
But what about from a visceral? How do you feel when you see that piece?
I'm kind of torn, I'll be honest with you. If their intent, which I see that their intent is to push teens away from vaping and starting that process, if that is their intent, then I think that that it, as a teen, as a minor, that would make me pause. It would give me pause. But I have many adults that come up to me and go, that's worse for you than smoking, or something of that nature. And I teach about formaldehyde. Formaldehyde's everywhere. I mean, and we have specific formaldehyde studies on the new devices where they show there is zero formaldehyde. So it is, it's not accurate. And so I don't want it to dissuade adult smokers from using this as an alternative. So I'm very torn, because I see what they're doing. I see what they're trying to do. and trying to stop a new population from using nicotine. But I think that it misses the mark as far as what we need to happen with these. I don't think that you throw one under the bus for the other. I think that there's a happy balance.
Do you think vaping will survive?
Oh, Brent, you're talking to me. Of course I think vaping's going to survive because I am a positive thinker, and by golly, I'm going to fight until the last day, because I believe that this product has to be available for these individuals to succeed, and that is the most important thing. So do I think it's going to survive? Absolutely, 150%.